In this video, we show how we made a wooden epoxy resin tabletop following detailed steps. This is how the end result looks. It is made of BWP plywood and iron legs, which we bought from Amazon. We have also added some gold leaves to give it a good look. It all started with getting some plywood from the hardware store. Since we do not have the proper setup to do all the woodwork, we cover the living room of our house before starting the cutting or sanding of wood. Placing the wood on spare tires to facilitate cutting. From here, we start cutting the plywood into our desired size. We are also cutting extra pieces to give the wood more thickness. You will understand what I mean further in the video. Placing the cutout wood to get an idea of how it's going to look. Giving the wood a quick sanding. Start gluing the extra pieces, which will increase the thickness of our tabletop. Screwing the pieces together makes them stick better. top. After priming is done, this is how it looks. After the primer has dried down, we are giving it a quick sanding again. This is the wood filler we are using to fill the unseen spaces in the wood. It helps give the wood a more finished look. It seeps into areas that have pores. This also helps with the easy gliding of the stain or paint on the wood. Leaving the wood filler overnight. We started with staining the top. We are using walnut wood stain for our design. We have added some wood dust on the sides where there was some difference in width. Sanding the wood dust. These are the legs we are going to attach to our tabletop. Screwing legs together somehow is always tricky for us. We end up struggling the most with this step. Sometimes we put the wrong screws into the wrong holes, ending up struggling to take them out. We do manage in the end. Drilling the last leg into the wood. Do you see me struggling to turn the table upside down? It is funny. Doing the second coat of the stain. Initially, we planned only to double stain without any texture, but while staining, we thought of experimenting with texture. Final look after the stain is completed with texture. After letting the stain dry overnight, we started adding gold leaf. We are only adding to one of the woods to give some brightness to the tabletop. To do this, we started by adding gold leaf glue to the wood, letting it sit for around 5 to 8 minutes, and then starting to add the leaf. We add leaves and brush them out, one at a time. Adding some more gold leaf to one of the corners. Adding black acrylic paint to the thickness of the table on all sides. This is the most exciting and final step of this project. Of course, we have to clean up the mess in the end. We started with mixing resin and harder in a 2:1 ratio, respectively. Giving it some mix for a good 5 minutes to minimize air bubbles in it. We are pouring the mixture now. We are using our hands to spread the resin initially, as we want a thin coat only on the top. We are doing this step to give the top some protection from water, stains from food, and other things that we place on the dining table. In the end, we are using a hair dryer to pop bubbles that were formed while spreading the epoxy. Do not overblow. This is the final look after the resin has dried. We will suggest that whenever you are using resin, make sure you do so in a dust-free area, as epoxy will catch dust while drying and it will show in your project. Also, wear a mask or respirator while using epoxy. It makes you dizzy or nauseated later on. I hope you all like the detailed video of the epoxy resin wooden top.